So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
A man who played collegiately over in East Lansing. Here's Ken Walker.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the 50, it's Darnold.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. You talk about this Lions defense.
Now they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Goff.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about a big
under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
The shotgun snap for Darnold.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
He made the right to the hole level of discussion with his passer. You know, maybe you don't have to leave me quite that much. But on that play, bailed him out in a big way, didn't he?
He did indeed. Hey, at least he gets to put it on the highlight reel. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He gets this out wide to Gibbs.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal. Bates' kick is good.
And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Here's Darnold. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. To throw is Darnold. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw, Darnold.
And Darnold going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Lions are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now a 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, Goff.
That's caught. It's Sam Laporta.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Goff now to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
Off play action. Here's Goff. Rolling to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
The Lions at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Gibbs will try and pick it up.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Goff.
Finds Gibbs on the check down.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
His 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 55 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
And Darnold's going to change the play.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they get back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Second and 10. Man in motion left. That's Smith and Jigba.
Now it's Darnold.
A throw left side, reeled in by the rookie wideout.
He is out of bounds inside the 35. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this second quarter. They're moving it pretty good. And that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another first down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. This is Fant on the short completion. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
That's a nice job right there. Get the ball out to the perimeter. Get it to your guy in space. He's just going to take this, turn upfield, and turn it into a big play in 1st and goal.
Throwing again is Darnold. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Brian Branch with it. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Goff. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Goff. Throw left side complete. That's Gibbs. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Umpire threw the flag. Usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities. But always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff.
That's complete to Laporta.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. In motion, the tight end. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
He finds his man, complete. It's Horton. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A final shot before the break. Darnold. This is the tight end fan. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. $10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibbs.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
That is caught. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's a third down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Goff.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Flushed out right.
Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here at their own 23.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Darnold.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Here's Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Darnold to throw again.
And that one complete downfield to Kupp.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Cooper Kupp,
53 yards.
And the Seahawks are back within a score.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now we'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Counter play. Here's Gibbs.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 50, it's gone.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Lions 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Here's Goff. Escaping the pressure right.
They throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield, incomplete.
Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it.
Off to St. Brown for the Detroit 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You circle the Pro Bowl. Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Goff throwing again. Steps away to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Gibbs straight ahead.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal.
He hit his first. Now this from 43.
Bates' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Darnold from the gun. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
In motion goes the tight end. Back to throw, Darnold.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter. Off of play action, Darnold.
And complete to Smith and Jigba.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37.
62 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Faking the give, Darnold.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. And they'll send the tight end in motion.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26.
To throw is Darnold.
He finds Smith and Jigba.
And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
The quick slant caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Jackson Smith and Jigba
from 10 yards out.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 38-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Goff.
He gets this out wide to Gibbs.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
That's to the tight end, Laporta.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Here's 1st and 10. Hand off now to Gibbs.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Here comes 2nd down.
Goff now to throw.
Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
They'll run with Gibbs.
And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
First carry now for David Montgomery.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So they tried runs on 1st and goal and 2nd and goal, got stonewalled. Now from here, they've got to throw, right?
I would think so, and I would think you also maybe want to come up with something different in terms of formation. Maybe spread things out a little bit. Even though you're down near the goal line where things are tight, get it spread out a little bit and try and find some room to operate. I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. This to put an end to a wild Monday night. And his kick is good. He knocks through his 3rd field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And the Lions are going to win this game.
What a ball